Hi, I'm Suzanne Waller, and today's workout is all focused on the shoulders and upper back. Have you noticed the effect of gravity and maybe those daily habits that have our shoulders curving forward, our chest muscles maybe shortening and tightening, and our back muscles growing weak and longer? So we're going to just work on reversing that today, or at least giving you some tools to help start the process. We're going to start off with a chest opener. So before we just work on building strength in our back, we want to make sure our chest has some stretch and expansion. So I am in a doorway, and I'm going to place my forearms and my hands on the frame of the door, and then I'm going to just walk my chest forward here. So keeping my fingertips, my wrist, and my forearms and elbows on that door frame. I'm just gonna work at leaning the chest and the torso forward in this position. We wanna hang out here for just a little bit. And you should be feeling a stretch through your pecs and shoulders, and then even some work in the back as the back contracts to open the chest. Good. So we can move the chin down towards our chest, kind of a chin tuck, and then lift the chin up towards the ceiling. So just working with this stretch. So if you don't have a doorway that works well for this, you could find yourself in maybe the corner of a room where two walls connect, and you could have one arm on one wall, the other arm on the other, walking yourself in as those elbows come back. So just finding that position, someplace in your home where you can do this. Let's do two more chin tucks. So chin towards your chest. Good, and then we're gonna lift, shift our gaze up, and make sure you're still getting that big chest stretch. And one more time. Drop the chin down. Feel the stretch in your upper back. Lift, chest stretch. A couple big breaths here. Melt those shoulders low. Great work. So we started off with a little chin tuck in the doorway, and we're gonna practice that a couple more times here. I'll turn on an angle so you can see better. A lot of times our neck juts forward when we're doing our daily work. And so the chin tuck just kind of teaches us how to lengthen and straighten the back of the neck. So we're pulling the chin down and back. Good, and that's also the beginning of a roll down. So let's just continue to practice that chin tuck as it leads us into a roll down. Good. With the roll down, our feet are parallel hip width apart. We start to peel our spine away from the imaginary wall behind us. We let our shoulders, our arms, and our head and neck hang as we hollow out the belly and fall forward. From here, I'm going to soften my knees and start to push through my heels to stack my spine back up to tall. And we'll do one more roll down. Think about elongating your spine as you stretch up and over the apex of your spine, the top of the curve. Hanging heavy here. You could soften your knees if it hurts to keep your legs straight, or if it's too strenuous. Exhale to start to stack back up. And our third roll down, fresh breath. Exhale, chin to chest, and peeling down. And At the bottom of your roll down, soften your knees, exhale to press back up and stack your spine all the way up. We're gonna bring ourselves to the wall. So I'm gonna have your back up your heels to the wall, and you're gonna be feeling your hips on the wall, shoulders as well, and then the head is gonna come back to the wall. So you should be feeling very straight and tall here. We're gonna do some arm movement. We're gonna try to keep the shoulders back as the arms kind of slide up the wall and right back down. So this is a great way to kind of assess where you might be in your shoulder and upper back posture. If it is hard for you to keep your shoulders connected with the wall, as well as maybe your elbows or even your hands, that's just a good sign that we might need to be spending a little extra time on strengthening the back and expanding and stretching the pecs in the front of the chest. Good, and one more little arm slide up and down. Good, and just trying to, like, as if there were magnets throughout your body pulling you back towards your wall, just feeling that pull in the direction of the wall. Good, so we're just gonna take those arms to goal post, palms facing out, knuckles towards the wall. This may feel a little bit more strenuous. We have more shoulder rotation in this position. So we can slide our elbows down a bit, and then we're gonna try to reach up the wall. As high as you can, maintaining shoulders and elbows and knuckles all touching the wall. The back of the head is still touching. It may feel like a stretch in the back of your neck. It definitely does to me. Good, sliding down the wall and exhaling to press up the wall. Let's just take a moment, think about our abdominals. We're gonna activate the abs as we exhale and lift the arms up. The tummy gets a little tighter. Still drawing back to the wall. Good, and are you feeling all of the work in the arms and shoulders to be in this upright position, moving? And if this is just too much for you, you can always walk your feet away a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more space. Good, we've got one more wall slide. Sliding up and bringing it all down. Fantastic work. Let's drop those arms, give yourself a little shoulder roll release, because it feels like I really need it. You probably feel like you really need it. And I'm walking my feet out a little more forward so that I can find myself in a wall sit or a wall squat. And for right now, we've got our feet hip width apart. Not very far apart at all. Your thighs should look like they are parallel with the floor. If that feels like too much, feel free to just walk yourself up a little bit higher on the wall. I am trying to keep the weight in my heels as I am holding this position. So I'm letting my toes be light, like I can even peel them up, but I'm making sure my heels are staying heavy. I want you to keep the hips and the back of the rib cage and the head pressing into the wall. We're gonna get a fresh inhale and twist to the side. Good, so your arms could be straight out or you could have soft elbows. I'm doing the soft elbow version. I think it's more comfortable. Exhale, twist. Good, trying to maintain those hips and knees nice and even. They're not trying to rotate, it's more just the upper body. Exhale for the twist, inhale to center. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. It's a lot of work. This is our last set. Excellent. We're gonna go ahead and drop the weight down and bring those arms back up. So if you need to take a mini break, I get that. Feel free to, and then join us again. Those arms slide up just like they did before, and they slide down. We've got 4 more. We're just doing 5 here. Press, Try to keep everything pulling back towards the wall. Last 3. Who's feeling their quads? Last 2 and last 1. Here we go. Woo! Awesome. Hold here. Can we rotate and lift? Rotate and lift. Just 3 more. We're just doing sets of 5. Last 2. Last 1. Bring your hands back. Press yourself forward. Give your legs a wiggle. That was challenging. Excellent. So we'll still be using the wall. This time we're going to draw the elbows back and our feet will be just about 6 inches out in front of us. So I can lean my whole back on the wall with my feet 6 inches forward, maybe 12 inches, somewhere in between 6 and 12 inches forward. From here, we get a fresh inhale, and we exhale to push our elbows back as we bring our hips forward. So imagine yourself planking and holding this position. You should feel lots of thoracic spine work, the rib cage area of your back. And our head is trying to lean back in that same plane that the rest of our body is on. Good, this is called the scapular wall hold, and it is a lot of work. Good, so I'm just gonna do some little tiny presses, pushing my elbows further back, bringing my body just a bit forward. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good, letting yourself rest back. And we're gonna do a dive forward here. So arms shoot up to the ceiling. That should feel great to stretch your arms up. Fresh breath. Exhale, dive forward. Tap your toes, let your head fall. Good, hands on the thighs. Bring yourself back up. So we've got 2 more of these scapular wall holds. I'm gonna go ahead and lengthen out my spine. So my sacrum, my low back, my shoulders, and the back of my head, all connected with the wall. I'm hinged at the hips right now. Fresh breath. Exhale to bring the body forward. So my head is not touching. My shoulders are not touching. My elbows and that tricep part of my arm, just a little bit of that arm part is touching right here. And it is a lot of work to hold me. Let's press out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest on back. Reach those arms up. Shoot yourself over. A big dive forward. Ha. A big stretch to the back. Good. Hands to the top of the thighs. Bring yourself up. We have got 1 more to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure my spine feels elongated on the wall. Fresh breath. And exhale to draw those hips forward. Good. So we are teaching our back muscles how to shorten and contract as we let our chest expand a little bit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic work. Good. Give yourself a nice reach and dive over. Good. Maybe those fingertips touch the floor. Feel free to soften your knees, whatever it takes to get a nice back stretch here. Hands to the thighs. Bring yourself up. And we have 1 more wall sit. This time we're going to do a wall sit with wider feet. So I'm looking for some turnout. The turnout needs to originate from our hips and go down through our knees and then the toes. So if the turnout I have looks like too much, you just walk it in. So rather than straight, find a position where you can turn out and keep alignment in your legs. Good, so I'm gonna go ahead and squat down a bit and bring my back to the wall. Now, if you can get your quads lower, go for it. Excellent work. We've got that hand width. Go ahead and grab it. Hold it right, center front, fresh breath. Exhale for that twist. Exhale for the twist. I'm doing a better job of keeping my head back. pressing in towards the wall here. Try to keep that torso tall. It's a little challenging. Yes, it is. Twist, spine twist. One more each way. Fantastic work. Drop that weight. Bring yourself back up. Can we raise the heels? Good. Let's try to hold raised heels. Now keep in mind the back of your head is against the wall. Your neck is long. Shoulders are back, as well as hips. Bring those arms up. We're gonna do some slides for 5. Good. 4, try to keep those heels high. 3, 2, and 1. Can we hang out here for just a little bit? Let's work on the abdominals. Let's lift tummy up and in. Melt those shoulders low. Try to grow tall for your crown. Feel free to bring those heels down. Excellent work. We're gonna hold out here. Let's do some little fan arms. Whoops! Knocked over the foam roller. Can we get the shoulders, the elbows, and the pinky finger to slide on the wall or slide close to the wall? Yes, great work. Last 2. Last 1. Push off the wall. Bring those legs in and give them a wiggle. Excellent work, guys. Excellent work. Okay, we're gonna find those weights and we're just gonna bring them front. So we're already thinking about expanded chest, so our shoulders aren't forward. We wanna open them up, and a contraction in the back. So what we'll do is keep the elbows near the waist, soften the knees, we get a fresh inhale, and we exhale to rotate out. So it doesn't matter how far you go out, we just wanna do a little rotation out. So while you're rotating out, belly tightens. And do you feel the shoulder blades squeezing in towards your spine? Maybe trying to crack a walnut that's tucked right between your 2 scapula. Good. Last 4. Open 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it down. We're going to hinge forward. And so hinging forward can sometimes make us curve on our back side and let our shoulders fall forward. We're not going to do that. We're going to try to stay neutral in our spine and keep those shoulders back and connected in their sockets, not hanging, but connected. So fresh breath here, we exhale to open. And I've got soft elbows here. This is a reverse fly, and it's really doing more of that back strengthening that we were just talking about. Definitely focused on the upper back, building strength to support us as we age. 4, exhale 3, 2, and 1. And bring yourself up. Excellent work. So, we are going to keep those soft knees and we're going to stabilize through our torso. So your belly and back should feel engaged. Weights come forward. We're going to press out in front and then we're going to press overhead. Press out in front and press overhead. We are working on building some shoulder strength and just making our shoulders more stable and protect them from injury. Press it out with an exhale, press it up with an exhale. Good, out and up. Good, and we like to hold for just a second before we get in. We're not into speed because the longer we sustain that resistance, the more we're really working on building strength. Good, press last one here. And down. Fantastic, good. So we're gonna drop out one weight, and we have a halo circle to do. So we're gonna take that weight right here at our chest, and I've got both hands gripping it. I'm going to lift it up, circle it around, and bring it down. Good, we'll do a few more in that same direction. So I'm taking the weight off to the side, circling it around my head and bringing it down. Keeping both hands on the weight, off to the side, circle around and down. Lots of shoulder mobility work here. Check my torso. I'm trying to maintain a stable torso without a lot of rocking and rolling around. So the weight, this is a 5-pound weight. You could probably do an 8-pound weight if you had one. Or a smaller weight is also fine, even if you've just got a bottle of water to grab hold of. Let's go the other direction. So it's off to the side, around the back of the head and down. Off to the side and around and down. Be aware of what your core is doing. We're trying to stabilize with our core and not rock around. Good. Yes, what do you think of the halo circle? Up and around and down. Good, and this is also an indication of how mobile are our shoulders. Good, ideally we've got great range of motion in our shoulders to enable us to do all those things we want to do as we get older, play with our kids, play with our grandkids, hike, climb mountains, go sailing, all the good stuff. Fantastic. We're going to drop the weights out here, and we're going to do some work with either extremely light weights, like a 1-pounder, or maybe a 2-pounder, or nothing at all. And I'm going to go without any weight for this. So I'm going to bring my arms long front, and I'm going to cross, cross, open, open, cross, cross, open, open. My palms are down. My knees are soft, and my abs are active. Cross, cross, open, open. Little crosses pressing back. Cross, cross. Good. What we'll do now is turn our palms up. So palms up, open, open. This may feel a little harder than the palms down. How's it going? How we doing? Hang in there with me. This is so good for your body. It's so important for your long-term health and posture, your mobility, your strength. Good, last 3, and 2, and 1, and bringing it down. Good, some shoulder rolls are always nice, and it usually feels like a nice release. Excellent, okay. So I'm gonna have you bring one arm behind your head and the other arm below. And we're just gonna see if we can get those fingertips to touch. You may or may not be able to get them to touch, but we're gonna at least reach them for each other. And maybe we wiggle it to get it closer. Good, and if you can make that connection, try not to be folded forward. Try to lift yourself up and make the chest expanded and open. Great work. Good, we're gonna release and do the other side. So other arm lifted, fingertips pointing down, other arm below, and as you can see, this side is much more difficult for me, so you might notice that you are not symmetrical, and you may have one side with more flexibility and one side that feels more limited. Feel free to just bring one hand below and one hand above. And with the arms here, continue to think about reaching them in opposition. Good, release. One more little shoulder roll set. We're gonna take those arms east to west. Good, from here, little arches, forward and back. And as you bring the arms back, see if you can squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good, little arches, back and front, for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good, we're coming up to goalpost. We're gonna do the same thing here. Arches forward and back, forward and back. This may feel a little more challenging because we already have the shoulders rotated up here. So it feels a little bit more of a challenge. Little mini arches and back and forward for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and down. We did some excellent work today. I would like for us to finish with 3 roll downs, just like we started with. And we're gonna get a nice upper back stretch with this. So, fresh breath, exhale, chin to chest, drawing the chin back a little bit, and then peeling down. Let those arms dangle, hollow out your belly. Let the back muscles really get that big stretch here. Low back should feel a nice release as well. Dangle the shoulders. Let's come to genie arms and continue to hang heavy for 1 more breath. Good, soften the knees, hands to thighs, bringing ourselves up. 2 more roll downs to finish, fresh breath. Exhale, chin back and peeling down. Good, once we're down here, a little twist off to one side. Good, release, twist off to the other side. Back to center, soften the knees, press yourself up. Shoulder roll. And it's our last one here, fresh breath. Exhale, chin draws back and down, and we start to peel. Good, soften those knees. Can we bring the hands to the low back? Lace your fingers, press up and over. You could come to straight legs or keep those knees soft. Let those laced hands hang over your head. It's a nice shoulder release here. Bring it back down to your hips, pressing all the way up. Fantastic work today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you notice yourself standing taller, feeling stronger in your back, and just a more proud, beautiful posture. If you enjoyed today's workout, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. I hope to see you next time. Bye.